are into peach season. Look at these beauties here. It is time to take care of fresh fruit peaches. I was so afraid this year I was not going to have these beautiful peaches because I called my regular orchard in Tecumseh and they said, we have no peaches. They were all killed in the polar vortex. And I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? I need to restock my freezer. I need to make jam. So I called around and you know, these beautiful peaches came from right here in Monroe County down at Erie Orchards. So they are just gorgeous and they're not in for a long time. So make sure to get some of these peaches. We are going to be making several different recipes highlighting the peaches. So make sure that you head out and pick some up while they're available. Just like all the fresh foods we've been working on, they're only available for a short time. So make sure to pick some up. Here it is, Peach Week 2. Remember all the good peaches that you can get in Michigan right now? So last week we worked on peach cobbler. This week we are going to do peach jam. Because remember, at Grandmommy's house, food is all about love and everybody's welcome. And who doesn't love jam, especially made with fresh fruit? So we're going to start out here, and this is the freezer jam recipe. It's very simple and easy. And I want to give you a tip first. We talked about using Sure-Jell when we did the strawberry jam. And I let you know that when you buy Sure-Jell, that they have a guide in there that shows you how to make all the different jams. It comes inside the Sure-Jell box. Well, when I opened my boxes this morning, I had picked up 3 boxes this week and none of them had the instructions. So I got on the phone to customer service at Kraft to let them know what had happened. They were very apologetic about it. And I told her that I needed to let people watching my videos know how to get directions. So she told me that you can go online if you just put in Sure-Jell or Kraft.com. When you get to either of those sites, you're going to see, you know, in the listing of search engines that come up, you're going to see one that says My Food and Family. And when you click on that website, you just go into the search bar and put in strawberry jam, blueberry jam, whatever you're going to make, and it will bring up this recipe for you right online. So just know that you have a couple ways to get the recipe that you need if you happen to pick up a box of Sure-Jell without instructions, because I've got a feeling if I ended up with 3 boxes with no instructions, there's probably a few more out there. All right, so for peach jam today, we're going to start with 3 cups of, it says on the recipe card to use diced peaches. I have done that in the past and I don't like the consistency quite so much. So this time I experimented, thinking back to how I do the strawberry jam, and you use a potato masher or some form of masher to mash the fruit, and then it gets juice and tiny bits of fruit. And I thought, I'm going to try that with peaches, and you know what? The jam is absolutely perfect. So I have 3 cups of peaches that I have mashed, and I've added 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. The lemon juice keeps the peaches from turning brown. It's just so it looks pretty. So 3 cups of mashed peaches, 4.5 cups of sugar. We're going to stir this together. The fruit juices will start to dissolve the sugar. Work with a big bowl because it can be messy. But usually the messy foods are the ones that taste really good, right? All right, so I have stirred in the sugar. And now I'm going to set my bowl aside. And this mixture is going to be sitting for 10 minutes. Hey Siri, set the timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, your timer is set for 10 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna just put this here because during the 10 minutes, I'm gonna give it a stir just once in a while. The main focus here is letting the sugar dissolve because you don't want your jam to have gritty granules of sugar in it. So just every once in a while, I'll give it a stir. Now, while that's sitting for 10, I want to show you, if you're going to do this and you're using the fresh fruit, how to actually work with a fresh peach, how to peel it and to get all the skin off before you make your jam. So let me grab a paring knife, just a small paring knife. I have had this peach, when I'm peeling peaches, I fill my sink with pretty warm water and just let them sit in there, and then I take them out as I go and peel them. So that gets the fuzz off the outside. So that's a good tip too, if you like to just eat a fresh peach and you don't like eating the fuzz, just rinse it off for a minute under some good warm water, and it'll take the peach fuzz down. So now that I've done that, and by the way, sometimes when you get your fruit at the orchard, it won't be quite ready to eat because they keep them cool to make them last longer. Set them out on your counter. Do not let them touch each other. Line them up out on the counter and keep them from touching so that they don't get soft against one another. And then when it's ready to eat, first of all, they smell so good. Second of all, you will feel just a little bit of softness when you press on it lightly. And then it's in like perfect eating order, because they can be kind of hard when you first pick them up. So set them out and let them ripen up. I bought these on Friday, and this is a Wednesday, and they are just getting perfect. I have them on my kitchen counter downstairs in my basement where it's pretty cool. All right, so take your paring knife and start at the top and just get your knife under the skin a little bit. And hold that with your thumb, and then your skin just peels down. Go around the peach and do that again. And just keep peeling the outside of that peach down. If it doesn't, come all the way down, you may just have to use your knife to peel it off like you would peel a potato or some other kind of fruit. But when they're just super ready to eat and super ripe, those peelings, just usually you can get a hold of it at the top and pull it all the way down, and it comes right off. So I'm just going to keep going around. I've gotten it peeled about halfway down, so I'll keep getting the edge of the skin under my knife and pulling it down. And now it starts to get juicy, and it starts to smell so good. And by the way, of a peach this size, in order to get 3 cups crushed, you're going to need 4 to 5 peaches. So you don't measure them. It says 3.5 cups, but you don't measure the fruit until you have already crushed it up, or your measurements will be off. All right, so I have the peeling off. Now I'm going to cut around, and by the way, these are Red Haven peaches, and what's so great about Red Havens is they're called a freestone. The pit in the middle comes right out. So I have cut all the way around the peach, and now when I open it, the pit is on just the one side. So I'm going to cut this half in half, and then I can just pull my pit right out. So if there's anything in the middle, like here's a little skin left on this one, I'm going to peel that out. There's a little bit of stringiness from the pit there in the middle. I'm going to pull that off. Same thing on this one. Let me cut this down and then get those little pieces of skin that I missed. Although the truth is, if you left a few pieces of skin in your jam, it would make no difference. It's still going to taste great. So now I have this peach quartered. I can put it in a bowl and use my potato masher and get it mashed up to start making the jam. All right, now let me give this bowl a little stir. See how it's coming along. So the sugar is beginning to dissolve in there. I tried out a raspberry peach recipe this year too, and it is absolutely delicious. So all through the year we're going to be eating really good at Grandmommy's house. I hope you will be too. Hope that you're using some of these recipes to make some meals, to make some jams, to put some foods in the freezer. There's nothing tastier than having fresh food. And you know, we're so blessed here in Michigan. What have we done? In June we did strawberries. Last week we worked on all the ways you can use good sweet corn. Now we're working on peaches. Coming up next will be apples. So it's just from one good thing to the next. Some of you are probably going to be working on tomatoes, putting up tomatoes or green beans. It's a lovely time for gardeners, for fresh food lovers in Michigan. Don't forget, we've got a great farmers market too every Saturday that you can pick up a lot of fresh produce too, and it is coming in abundance right now, so check that out. See how we're doing here. Now I'm going to check my timer because I need to prepare the Sure-Jell that's going to make our jam, make these peaches gel together and become jam. All right, so I'm giving this another stir, and now I'm going to get my Sure-Jell, my pectin, started. What you want to do, take a small saucepan, put in 3/4 cup of water, open up your Sure-Jell. Gonna get my burner heating up here, turning it up on high. This is just a white powdery pectin. Pour that all in, and I'm just gonna stir it up. You can use a spoon, a spatula, whatever. I like using my little whisk here, but anything that would just stir it together so it's not lumpy in there. I'm gonna put it on high, and it is gonna cook. Once it starts boiling, we're gonna boil it for 1 minute. So I started this when I had about 3 minutes left on my timer. Whoops, and now I'm down to 12 seconds, but that's okay. The peaches and sugar will just sit here for a minute while I'm waiting for my Sure-Jell to start cooking. There we go, 10 minutes up. Have you noticed how much I use my arms and I'm lifting and carrying and stirring? You know, you burn a lot of calories when you're cooking, which is good because then you can enjoy eating it when you're done. So, stirring the peaches once more. The sugar is pretty well dissolved. I'm waiting for the Sure-Jell to give us a 1 minute boil. This freezer jam is so simple. Growing up, and I helped my mom make different jellies and jams, but you had to cook everything then. We didn't have the quick and easy freezer jams, and I'm telling you, they not only make it easier, but just the fresh taste. The one jelly that still has to be cooked, but it's a family favorite, is blackberry. Blackberry jelly, and you have to get all the juice out of those berries and cook your jam from there. But it's worth it. But I like having these quick and easy recipes too. All right, we are boiling. I'm gonna start my 1 minute timer. There are a lot of other pectins out there other than the Sure-Jell in the box. There's some liquids and other things. I have tried them, but nothing works as good every single time as the Sure-Jell in the box, so I stick with it. All right, turning off the heat under the pectin. There goes our timer. We're gonna pour this right into the sugar and the peach mixture. And now, this has to be stirred together for 3 minutes. So I'm gonna set my timer for 3 and start stirring. Something else I've noticed about the Sure-Jell recipe card is I always get more jam than they indicate. When I made the peach jam, it said it would make 7 jars. I had 9. On the peach and the strawberry, it says on strawberry you'll get 5. I always get 6. On the peach, I believe it says 6, and I get 7. So I'll take it. But just as a way of preparing to make sure you have enough jars, always have an extra jar sitting around ready to go in case you do run over the stated amount on the recipe card. So just stir this up. 3 minutes. It looks beautiful. One more minute of stirring. See, if you have kids in the kitchen too, if your arm gets tired, you can say, hey, you want to stir this bowl? And they'll say yes. You say, great, here, stand right here and stir it. And don't stop until I tell you. All right, my 3 minutes is up. I've got my jars right here. 8-ounce jars, 1 pint. I'm sorry, half a pint. You know, you can use, like this could be, 2 of these would be 1 pint jar. So if you want to if you have that size jar, or if your family eats a lot and you need to make a larger jar, you can do it that way too. You can also use plastic containers like leftover sour cream containers or cottage cheese containers, things like that. All right, so I have my funnel ready. It fits right inside my little jar, and I have my ladle. So I am going to scoop the jam from the bowl, and it'll take a full scoop and about a 3/4 scoop. You got to leave a 1/2 inch at the top of your jar because when this jam freezes, it's going to expand in the jar. So leave a 1/2 inch at the top. Pull my funnel out and go right to the next jar. One full ladle and about 3/4 of another. Actually, you can determine based on how this funnel is made, right where it bends. If you fill to that point, you will have your 1/2 inch at the top of your jar when you take the funnel out. There we go, 7 beautiful jars of jam. I'll put my lids on. I'll leave them sitting right here on the kitchen counter for 24 hours. And at this time tomorrow, I will put them in my freezer. And they will be ready to go when we need peach jam. So, thank you for joining me again today on Cooking with Grandmommy. It's peachy season. Get some of those yummy peaches and enjoy them while we have them. See you next time.